All right, folks, we are less than 3 weeks away from the start of the NFL season. It is coming so fast, and I am jacked up. We are only 6 days away from Iowa State kicking off the season in Ireland versus Kansas State, so it is coming fast. The best time of the year is rapidly approaching, and with 3 weeks until the NFL season, I'm going to go through my top 5 most interesting players of the NFL season. What 5 players am I most intrigued by? So I'm going to start in descending order. And number 5, I've got Josh Simmons. And for those of you who don't know who Josh Simmons is, he was the last pick in the first round of the NFL pick. He is the left tackle for the Kansas City Chiefs. If you look back a year ago, he could have probably been a top 10 pick. He fell to number 32, but this has been the Achilles heel of the Kansas City Chiefs the last couple years. Last year, they moved a guard to left tackle. This has been really the softest spot on their team is at the tackle position. And if they can get this position right, or even above average, this is going to completely change the trajectory of this team. I think this, if he is good as they're saying he is in camp, I think this completely changes the outlook for the season for the Kansas City Chiefs. So at number 5, I've got Josh Simmons. At number 4, I've got Abdul Carter. And he was the 3rd overall pick, defensive lineman for the New York Giants. And I think the New York Giants are not going to be very good this year, but there is a chance they could have the best defensive line in the NFL, and I think it could be by a wide margin. So a lot of people are saying Abdul Carter from Penn State was the best player in the NFL draft, but they already have Dexter Lawrence, who is probably the best defensive tackle in the NFL, outside of maybe Jalen Carter. They have Kayvon Thibodeau, who had 11 and a half sacks his rookie year. Last year he was hurt, but he's coming back. He'll be full strength. And then they've got Brian Burns. So they're going to have 3 very good pass rushers, along with one of the best defensive linemen in the NFL. And this team might not be very good at a lot of positions, but they're going to be a real pain for anyone to play if Abdul Carter can really hold up to the hype and really provide them some good pass rusher. They'll have 3 very competent pass rushers, and it's going to be a scary defensive line if he's as good as they say he is. Number 3, I've got Marvin Harrison Jr. And last year, he had a great rookie standard by a lot, a great rookie season by a lot of NFL standards. 65 catches, 885 yards, but I felt a little bit underwhelmed. And that's probably unfair to him, but with the hype that he came into this league with, it just felt a little bit underwhelming to me. But if you look at the Cardinals right now, they've got Marvin Harrison Jr. coming back. They've got Trey McBride, who I think is one of the top tight ends in the entire NFL. It's going to be really exciting to see what he can do. A lot of you may know Marvin Harrison was one of my favorite players ever in the NFL, and so I was just looking for a lot more out of Marvin Harrison Jr. Number 2 is Caleb Williams. And the reports out of camp are a little bit frightening for his trajectory. But if you look at this team, they have Ben Johnson, who is probably the best prospect for a head coach coming from a coordinator spot in the NFL last year. He's probably the best offensive coordinator with the Lions a year ago. They've got a top 5 offensive line according to PFF, and that's way up from last year where offensive line was really weak. They made a lot of upgrades. They have Adunze Moore, a good tight end, and they drafted a tight end in the first round. So they should have no excuse this year for Caleb Williams not to be good. And if he's not good by Thanksgiving, I think there's going to be a lot of concerns and a lot of conversation going around about what he is as an NFL player. And then finally, number 1 by far is J.J. McCarthy. Right now, I think the Vikings are set up to win at every single position group in the NFL with the exception of quarterback. I have no idea what to expect out of J.J. McCarthy this year. He really has not played football in 2 years. He's coming off a major knee injury. The last game we saw him in, he was basically handing the ball off virtually every play. But they are loaded. You know, when you look at, they got JJ, who's probably the second best or best wide receiver in the NFL. They've got Jordan Addison, who is going to be suspended for a few games, but he's probably a top 5, number 2 in the NFL. They have a great offensive line, a solid defense, and a top 5 tight end in Hockenson. They are loaded and they are ready to win every single position group with the exception of quarterback. And I am fascinated to see what J.J. McCarthy can do. They went all in when they really shipped off Sam Darnold or chose not to re-sign him. So they're really stuck with them. And it's going to be really fascinating to see what he can do with this great team. So those are my 5 most interesting players for the 2025 NFL season. I'd love to hear your thoughts, and we'll talk to everyone later.